Hi, welcome. This is day 6 of tarot combos where we draw 2 cards to see what energies are playing tug of war. That's one way to put it. So let's see what's here today. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups, challenged by the Lovers. What? Oh my God. Okay. You know, when I get excited, there's something that immediately comes to me, but there's so much here. Well, first of all, the Lovers being a major arcana in the challenge space is really interesting because it's usually there's usually a lot with the major arcana that it's like big. It can be read many ways. And it can be very nuanced. All of them can be, but with this, the Knight of Cups, so right here there's so much love energy in this, which is fascinating to me. That we've only had 6 days of these, and there have been so many really cool pair ups already. I'll go into that another time. But the Knight of Cups is, sometimes people call it the romantic gesture card, because knights are action, cups are emotion or heart energy, love energy. So action of the heart, action of love, romantic gesture. And then we have the Lovers, which you could read that as a relationship card. It really is. It's like to me, I think of it more of an alignment card. Like, where am I in or out of alignment in order to bring about unconditional love in my sphere? Does that make sense? Both outside of me and then toward me, like emanating from me and emanating toward me. So this being in the challenge area makes me want to ask the question, where am I out of alignment that's going to detract me from, what do you call it? Bringing love into my life. Does that make sense? And I don't talk a lot about like romantic love, because in tarot there's first of all, there's so many kinds of love, but I like to think about unconditional love, human love, the bigger love, not just romance. Okay, that seems like one minor little piece of love or type of love that we feel as humans. So the Lovers is also like how it can be self-love. And I like to think of that because there's the divine masculine, there's both masculine and feminine energy in this artwork. By the way, we're using the classic deck here, the classic artwork, and there's like this angelic being kind of presiding over these two very pure, you might think of them as Adam and Eve, because they're not wearing any clothes. Sorry, YouTube. And so it feels like they're looking toward this angel, almost like for blessing, for whatever, protection, for love, for acceptance. And so, I just got the chills with that. So the Lovers being like, I want to feel totally accepted. I want to feel unconditional love toward me. So if this is in the challenge area, what is preventing me from feeling that from other people, from myself? So I want to ask the question both ways. I love to think about what's getting in the way of my self-love. Is the action card here, this romantic gesture, if you want to call it that, but it's really action, like taking action of the heart. It's like a very action-based, heart-based card. I don't know how else to say it. Like, this is the one that also says, why don't you slow down just a hair? This isn't the slowest night, but it's still one that, look how he's like paused at this river, and river is very flowy. It's water elements. Cup like is like emotion, flowing emotion. So it says, pause, take stock of where you are, dip down your cup and fill it up. So it's like, it's taking a little bit of responsibility for this? Like, what's getting in the way? What's just detracting from me feeling love? Well, we have to take a little bit of responsibility and fill up our cup whenever we can, wherever we can, however we can. So what does that look like? It means tending to self-love. How do you fill your cup? You can think of it in that way. Like, what nourishes you emotionally? Is it watching a good love story, reading a romance novel? I don't know. But it's not just kind of, those are the superficial ones. But what is it? Where are you being called to maybe say some daily affirmations to yourself? Work on your inner child healing that says you're sending love to your inner child, to that child self you were, because maybe it wasn't seen, it wasn't appreciated. That child, that old you was just somehow lacking in some way, and you want to send that self-love, that love to yourself, your child self, to see like, how might you nourish yourself? So those are just some examples and kind of what's coming to me with all of this love energy. And it's like, how are we out of alignment? What's getting in the way of us feeling fully accepted for who we are? Is there any inner work we can do ourselves before we try to put that on other people? Because it's a self and solo journey with healing. It just is. So before we turn around and project out into the world, like, why don't anyone love me? Or why am I being treated this way? Or why don't I feel cherished? Why don't I feel cherished? Oh, that hits me in the heart. Oh. But it's like, I'm sure there are people who do cherish you, but like, what's getting in the way of you feeling that energy back at yourself? So that's the question. And it might be like, well, where am I out of alignment? I like to think of the word alignment with this because it's all there. Everything's there. Acceptance is with us. Like, the energy is there, but it's like, what is getting in the way? And it's sometimes what's clouding our ability to feel it, to see it, to recognize it when it's being like sent our way. And a lot of times for me, I have to say, like, people will pay compliments or say nice things, and I sometimes don't hear it. Like, I've learned over time to say just thank you without self-deprecation coming in right after the thank you. I'm not great at it still, but I try. And it's but there, and sometimes I do feel the compliment. I'm like, oh, they really see me, if it really resonates with me. And other times I'll get a compliment that doesn't feel like it's me at all, but they somehow see that in me, and I try to accept that as well. Like, okay, they're seeing that in me, or they're appreciating something about me that I just maybe take for granted, or it doesn't resonate, or I don't see it yet. I don't know. So that's what this is making me think of, is like, what are those times in my life when I'm just not able to receive? What are those times in your life where you feel like you're not able to receive? When is that? Is it usually like those dark cloud phases we go through? I almost said moment, but for me, like, I'll have a dark cloud for maybe a few days to a week to 2 weeks. I feel like I'm on 2-week cycles with certain emotions. And then the clouds break. And I'm like, remember when I said the other day, like, a new day is here. But why do those come about? Why am I? It's usually because I'm not taking care of myself. So both of these cards actually are also about self-care. If I take them out of context of each other, they're still about self-care. So self-care, self-nourishment, loving yourself, self-love, building your self-worth. That's what I mean by taking a little bit of responsibility to do practical things, like look in the mirror, say some stuff to yourself that feels good, and you don't have to believe it right away. So what is getting in the way of you feeling all the love that surrounds you?